Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Emily, and today I have for you a 15-20 minute sequence where we'll move through a few rounds of standing stretches to help really ground yourself back down. Maybe you've had a stressful day, help focus the mind, build some strength in the lower body, and also just to take the pressure off the wrists. Sometimes in yoga we experience pain or discomfort in the wrists, so this is a nice little sequence where we're really minimal on the hands and mainly on the legs today. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we can come to stand at the top of our mats. And we'll move through a round of sun salutation A just to warm up the body a little bit before we get into our main asanas. So standing at the top of our mat, toes together, there can be some space between the heels. We're pulling those kneecaps up to engage the quads, tucking the tailbone down and pulling the belly in, rolling the shoulders on the back. Chin is tucked in. We can inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhaling, diving forwards, hinging from the hips, coming into our forward fold, generous bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthening through the legs, nice flat back into our half lift. Exhale, planting the palms into the mat and stepping it back to a plank, and either bringing the knees, chest and chin down to the mat or chaturanga. Exhale, knees up, elbows in. Untucking those toes. Inhale, lifting the chest and chin up to our upward facing dog. Exhale, taking it back to our downward facing dog. And we can paddle the feet here. We'll stay for a few breaths. Shoulders gently pull down the back away from the ears. And we're soft in the elbows. Paddling the feet, stretching out the legs. Just loosening up any muscle stiffness in the body. One more breath. On our next inhale, looking between the hands, we can walk, step or jump the feet in between, coming into our half lift, nice flat back. Exhaling, folding it forwards, belly to thighs. Inhaling, sinking the hips back, taking the arms out and up, coming all the way back up to standing. Exhaling, hands come down in prayer. Beautiful. So hopefully the heart rate is getting going and we're feeling a little bit looser in those muscles and joints. So we'll begin by shifting our weight into the right foot. So spreading those toes and really squeezing them into the mat. We can have a little bit of a bend in that knee. And we'll guide the left foot to rest either on the ankle, on the calf, or we can guide that foot all the way into the inner thigh of the right leg, coming into our tree pose. And finding a point in the room to focus on for your stability here. We're opening that knee out to the side, so we're opening up that left hip. Standing leg is nice and strong. We're rooting into the ground through those toes. Slow, deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale, we can gently bring that left foot back down. Standing at the top of our mats, we can take that left foot back one leg distance and we'll inhale, sink into that front knee, sweeping the arms up into our warrior one. The hips are square to the front of the mat. Arms in line with the ears and the belly and ribs pull in, the core is engaged. Slow breaths into the belly. One more breath. Exhaling, we can open it up to our warrior two. The hips come in line with the long side of the mat. And we can bring our gaze to the middle finger on the right hand, enhancing our focus. Leaning into that front knee a little bit more. We're building strength in those thighs. One more breath. Exhaling, we can bring the hands to the hips and lengthen through that front leg. We can then turn those toes in. So the toes are pointing to the long side of the mat. We can inhale, stand nice and tall through the spine. Exhale from the hips, folding it forwards, bringing the hands down to rest on the mat. If we can't quite reach the ground, we can always place our hands on some blocks or books. Coming into our wide forward fold, drawing the crown of the head down towards your mat. We're soft in the knee joints. Shoulders gently pull down the back, away from the ears. One more breath. On our next inhale, bring the hands back to the hips. Exhale, we'll come all the way back up to standing. We can turn that top foot back to the top, front of the mat and stepping it back to the tops of our mat. Beautiful. Maybe just shaking those legs out a little. We've been doing some hard work. And then we'll do that on the left side. So shifting our weight into the left leg, squeezing those toes into the mat, and then guiding our right foot to rest either on the ankle, the calf, or maybe we can bring our foot all the way up to the inner thigh into our tree pose. You may find one side is a little bit wobblier compared to the other. So if we fall out, just gently bring yourself back in your own time. There's no rush. Again, that knee is opening out to the right side. So we're opening up that right side of the hip. And finding a point again in your room to focus on for your balance. Nice strong standing leg. One more breath. Exhaling, we can gently release that right foot down. And then stepping that right leg back, one leg distance. We have a nice wide stance. Inhale, we can sweep the arms up and lean into that front knee, coming into our warrior one. Again, arms in line with the ears. Belly and ribs pulling in. And we have a nice bend in that front knee. One more breath. Exhale, we can open it up to our warrior two. The hips come in line with the long side of the mat. Arms parallel to the ground. And we gaze at the middle finger on the left hand. Wherever we are, deep breaths, relaxing those shoulders down. One more breath. Exhaling, bringing the hands to the hips, lengthening through that front leg, and again, turning those toes in to the long side of our mats. And again, we'll come into a wide forward fold. So inhale, stand nice and tall through the spine. Exhale from the hips, folding it forwards. And this time we'll take the hands behind the back and we can interlace the fingers and let gravity do the work, allowing the hands to gently fall down towards the head. The crown of the head still draws down towards your mat. Gently opening the chest. Soften those knees. One more breath. We can gently release those hands. Inhale, bring the hands to the hips. Exhale, we'll come all the way back up to standing. We can turn the top foot back to the top of the mat. And then coming back to stand, we can maybe shake out those legs again. And then we'll just bring ourselves back down to a mat for a little seated stretch. So we can inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, diving forwards, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening to our half lift. And then exhale, planting the palms into the mat. We'll just step it straight back to a downward facing dog. And we can just take a moment to paddle the feet here. One more breath. Exhaling, gently bringing those knees down to the back. We can untuck the toes. And we can take it back to a child's pose. So the knees can be together, arms down by the sides. Or maybe we prefer to have the knees to the edges of the mat and the arms lengthened. Maybe taking a moment to close the eyes and return to your natural breath. On our next inhale, we can bring those fingertips underneath the shoulders and we can just gently press into them so we come to sit up on the heels. And there we have it, our standing stretch. I hope you guys enjoyed that little flow. If you did, please like the video and save for later so you can come back again. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more free yoga content. Hopefully I'll see you guys again next time. Namaste.